And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. Before we get started with this video, I know the title is The Marvels is a Flop. Don't worry, we're not one of them channels which is like woke propaganda agenda bullshit. We're going to talk about how much money it made, because that's the sort of stuff we talk about, but we're also going to talk about solutions, not just shit on it. Another thing as well, if you want to see a review of the Marvels, there's one on our channel, and there's also one on the Bad Habits channel, if you just want to get a few different perspectives, because I think with TBH, Kyle, and myself, we actually give quite a nice spectrum of thoughts on the actual movie itself. So if you want to go check that review out, that's up now. It gives a really interesting perspective. Says some things that maybe made me actually think about it a bit more and maybe actually bump it up to a 6. But Kyle, how are we doing today?
I've got a sore throat, so
Ugh.
yeah.
What have you been doing?
Well, it's like the middle of winter pretty much here, and I decided to have an ice cream.
Oh,
So,
nice. Yeah. Well, if you want to
drinks.
know what a fucking idiot I am, I nearly drowned in the shower when I got home tonight. Yeah. Drowned in the shower.
That's impossible.
I tilt my head back a bit too much and all water kept rushing it down my nose. I was like, whoa. So, thought that'd be pretty funny to say. But yeah. Being kind of like the brightest guys. But, the Marvels.
At least hold up. At least I ain't drowning when I go in the shower. From fucking tilting my head back.
Right, Kyle, I will say this, right? Kyle, can't remember which Disney Plus show it was. Probably a Marvel one. He was coming up to mine. And he was like, what snacks should I get? I was like, just get some sweets or something. You see, he's looking away now because he knows what I'm going to say. This motherfucker got 5 different variations on hot, spicy crisps or chips in America.
But it were like 3.
But you didn't get any sweets. You just got variations on
sweets. I like crisps.
Chili Heatwave, and
think about no me. Chocolate left. There were no chocolate.
Think about me in future.
Mate, you'll be fucking dead soon. I won't have to think about it. You'll be drowned in shower.
I did nearly drown in the shower. But I'll tell you who's not drowning in money this weekend. Disney, Marvel Studios. The Marvels managed to make $45 million its opening weekend in the US, which is I think the MCU's lowest. But it's made $110 million worldwide. But this doesn't bode well for the film itself. Now, our feelings aside, why do you think this is, overall? Why do you think this film just hasn't come out the gate swinging? Replicating what the first film did.
I think it's due in part of the fact that they've just been shitting out things lately, and I'm not going to say it's more or less. I'm going to say it's like in the middle, where like half of it's been really good and what we should expect. And then there's the other half, which is just like shit.
Yeah.
So,
after this releasing, I was always round about a 70-30 for the things I've liked after Endgame. But now I think I'm maybe at like a 60, like a 65-35. Maybe even 60-40.
I think they just, this really now hits them. And it's like, we need to stop shitting this out. We need to make Marvel special.
Look at the positives of this thing. We're going to talk about some delays later down, but this is, the box office tracking has definitely affected these delays that are coming up. But I really, I can't remember where I heard this. I think it was Heavy Spoilers. The best and worst thing to happen to Marvel Studios was Guardians of the Galaxy, because they realised, oh my god, we can put out anything and people will go see it. This obscure character like Guardians of the Galaxy and people go see it. That's not why people love Guardians. People love Guardians because it's a good film first, not because of the Marvel brand. So there's that. I think they also thought that, oh yeah, Captain Marvel's going to be another smash hit. The first one made over $1 billion. I really like the first Captain Marvel film. I do. But that film would not have made a quarter of what it made if it didn't come out between Infinity War and Endgame. Everyone was just fucking clamouring for the next MCU project. And that's why. I think another reason as well is, we've both seen them, we're big MCU fans, but this kind of relies on you seeing 2 Disney Plus shows to understand the backstory of 2 of your characters here. Disney Plus shows, which, to be fair, I saw someone talk about this earlier. It was like, oh, and you have to watch 2 terrible, mediocre Disney Plus shows to understand this film, so it only makes it worse. WandaVision and Miss Marvel are probably top tier Marvel Disney Plus. So, okay, whatever. But yeah, I really think this is, now that
I'm gonna say something quite controversial.
Say
here.
it.
Right.
Just remember.
The thing with
Put it through your
the thing
letterbox.
is with the Disney Plus shows, right? Yes, WandaVision is great, but it's still on that plane of, like, if you compare it to something like Daredevil or other shows,
Yeah.
it's still not got that it's got that thing about being it's a Marvel movie been sliced up, and that's the big issue with the Disney Plus shows, and that's why I'm excited for Echo. Echo's not doing that, and thank God they're not doing that with Daredevil. If they were doing that for Daredevil, I guarantee, yeah, it'll have some cool moments, but the show will nowhere near be as good as the Netflix version. Now, if you are not a big Marvel fan, and if you're not big Marvel fan,
I'm big Marvel fan.
If you're just kind of, if you like going to cinema and watching movies and all that, and you're not really bothered too much, you enjoy watching things. If you're someone who's a bit more casual on this side of things, then I wouldn't say the shows that they have are terrible by any means, but they're not like top tier, like, oh my God, go watch it kind of thing. It's not like Daredevil where it's like,
yeah, we was expecting like HBO quality to come from Marvel, and we really didn't get that.
Not with Disney Plus, and I think that's what puts off a lot of people, because you've got great shows coming out now. You've got House of the Dragon, which is a prequel to Game of Thrones, and that's obviously HBO quality because it's HBO. And that's just, again, it's one of those things where it's like, they kind of missed the mark a little bit. I'm glad that they're restructuring how they do shows now, thank fucking God, because I don't know how long I could have held out onto this. Same with Star Wars. Star Wars have started to ump things up a bit better. Obviously, Ahsoka was like a bit of a nice step in a better direction. It felt more like a show, whereas the others just kind of feel like stories chopped up into pieces. And I think that's the big problem with when it comes to building up, because not a lot of people saw these shows that are just sort of casual fans of it. This is like more of the hardcore fans that are going to Disney Plus, going on, watching the entire thing, waiting week for week for Disney Plus shows, whatever. But if it was like a movie, for example, if they set up these 2 characters in maybe a movie, then I think, it would have been better. But they wanted to do it where they set up these characters in a show. I think Miss Marvel definitely got settled better compared to Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, because Monica Rambeau was a side character in WandaVision.
Yeah, and which that's not really a bad thing, because they've done that before in the Marvel movies where they've had a side character. But that's a movie that's gonna go and it spreads out to a wider audience because it's a film. It's like, oh, new Marvel movie's coming out, let's go see that, go have some food on a Friday, Saturday night or whatever. With Disney Plus, people are just like, oh, this Marvel show is a bit, because there's nothing but controversial stuff about the Marvel Disney Plus shows. They're not, it's not all positive and it's not all negative. It's like in between, and people are just like, why am I going to waste my time on something that's very mixed? So I think that's just something I'm going to put out there. That being said, Miss Marvel is on the better spectrum of that. Her character was set up really well. It's unfortunate that not a lot of people watch the show. I say go watch the show because it is pretty good, and Miss Marvel is fantastic. Iman Vellani is a great Kamala Khan. She really brings out that joyful, almost Tom Holland, Spider-Man, young-esque, cheerfulness to it. So with this film, you've got the two main characters that, yes, they have been set up, but not a lot of people know about the setup. And not a lot of people are too bothered about going to see the setup. And then you've got, obviously, a Marvel MCU as a whole. There's nothing really, like you said, they released this film between after Infinity War and before Endgame. Just a month before it. Was it a month before Endgame, wasn't it?
It was in March and Endgame came out in April.
Well, there you go. That's the reason why it made so much money, the first one. This one has got nothing on to jump from.
Yeah,
like
because
it's got no
connectivity. Anyway, there's these little bits here and there. But
I mean,
they really should have done an Avengers film by now.
It's kind of exactly. It's kind of funny that I wish they with the Avengers films they did what they did before, where they have like maybe one or two Avengers films and then they go on to the big Endgame level stuff with the Avengers film. That's what I feel like they should have done. But unfortunately, they can't do that. They can't do that right now. Maybe in the next MCU, MCU 2.0 reboot, whatever, they do that. And so with this, it's just kind of like, again, people are seeing that this is mediocre. No one's really talking about it. Whenever you talk about Captain Marvel on the internet, it's always negative press.
Definitely. I'm going to sit here and say right now, this film didn't not make the money because it's woke. I think the people who care about that sort of stuff saying it are the ones who only care about it. It didn't not make the money because it's a female lead, because look at, the first Wonder Woman and stuff. Like the first Captain Marvel, it came out in that time, but still a female lead. And, it's not made the money because the stuff leading up to this, the quality hasn't been there, and the quality hasn't been there in the MCU overall. Like, I would still say I've enjoyed stuff, but there's only been a few things that have been truly great in phases 4 and 5. When in phases 1, 2, and 3, there was, you knew you was either going to get a really good project or a fucking amazing project, and this has been. Now it's like, am I gonna like this? Am I not gonna like this?
See, I'm gonna disagree with you slightly because you've got films like, I know a lot of people shit on it, but you've got Thor: The Dark World. I personally like Thor: The Dark World, and I think it's pretty good. But a lot of people shit on it and say it's one of the worst Marvel films. I disagree. I think it's pretty good. And then you've got Iron Man 2, which I feel like I like that more and more I watch it. Again, it wasn't like the best Marvel film. So when people say that, Marvel needs to get back on track.
Oh, yeah, people are definitely looking at it with rose-tinted glasses, but that's because we've got the whole picture to look at. And I would definitely say Phase 3 was probably the best. It was smash, 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 smash. You got... What did we get at the beginning of Phase 3? Captain America, Civil War, then Doctor Strange, then Guardians Volume 2, which I would have said is probably the weakest film in that bunch, but then I've got much more appreciation for it now after seeing Guardians Volume 3, so even that's been bumped up a little bit. After Guardians, we had Spider-Man Homecoming, then Thor Ragnarok, then Black Panther, then Infinity War, then Ant-Man and the Wasp, which, again, a film I've seen more and more and I've got more appreciation for after I've seen it. Then Captain Marvel, the first one, which I think's a pretty good film, then Endgame, and then Far From Home to end out Phase 3. That's a pretty fucking good phase.
I'll say this. This last thing. Yes, it's kind of iconic. Obviously, no spoilers here, but it's kind of ironic, not iconic, ironic that we're saying that this film isn't one of the factors of it not doing well is because of the connectivity, the lack of connectivity. Whereas in this film, there's quite a bit of connectivity
Yes,
within the
there
MCU.
is.
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm like, why didn't we get this
I'm
earlier?
I'm more talking about the connectivity of projects leading up to this because people have felt that
No, I know.
disconnect and gone.
No, I'm just saying as
You know,
I like a bit of
and
a
it's like,
joke, but
why should I see everything if not everything's as closely connected now? Whereas this is probably the thing where it's like, oh shit, no, you should really be watching this. And I mean, before Multiverse of Madness came out, it was like, oh right, what you need to have seen WandaVision, you need to have seen Loki, and it turns out, as much as I love WandaVision, you didn't really have to watch WandaVision to understand Multiverse of Madness, and you definitely didn't have to watch Loki.
you definitely don't have to watch Loki. But WandaVision, I'd say. I mean, WandaVision's great anyways, so just fucking watch it. It's more Wanda and more Vision, and you get that nice build up of Wanda, and then you see where she's at, and it's a bit more because if you go from watching like an Avengers Age of Ultron and then Civil War and things like that, and then you go to straight to watching Doctor Strange, you're kind of like, whoa, why is Wanda turning into sort of like a
Bitch.
very evil? No, she's just very like,
I said witch.
yeah, just a very like evil presence in the film, and it's like, you look at WandaVision, it kind of sets that up a bit. But yeah, hopefully now.
Well, this is going to teach him a lesson. A good lesson.
Well, I mean, they should have been fucking taught that lesson after Quantum Mania, but...
This was already in the pipeline, though, and we're going to talk about stuff later on, which is... Yeah, no, they've learned. But before we get on to the Marvel delays, the SAG after strike is finally over. Projects can now resume. Stuff can start getting shot. So, in a historically long strike, Kyle, you happy it's over?
Yeah.
Are you, do you wish they got it sorted sooner? Because I sure as fuck do.
Yeah.
This is another one that could have been sorted if they just sat down and spoke to each other from the beginning. But they waited and wanted, to get actors' rights with AI and stuff like that. It's all weird stuff, But since this has come out, this news has started. Obviously, we're talking about a lot more projects going right back into production. Deadpool 3 being one of them.
It's a shit. Sorry, I'm getting really itchy there.
We reported that Deadpool 3 is probably going to go into production in January. Apparently, that's not the case. That's going straight back into production within a week or so. And James Gunn's come out and he said that Superman... is it Legacy? Yeah, it's Superman Legacy. And that's going to be on track to release as well at its normal release date of July of 2025. So, that's more great stuff. But yeah, I'm just glad it's over. It could have been sorted sooner. We could have been watching Dune Part 2 if the fuckers got this done sooner. But, oh well. I'll go blow my brains out another time.
You have to specify here a little bit, because you mean fuckers, you don't mean the actors, obviously, you mean
The studios.
The big corpo cunts.
Corpo cunts. Get that on a t-shirt.
Money hungry bastards. Fuck them. They should be paying their actors what the road, basically. It's a real issue. It's
And when we say pay your actors, we're not on about your Robert Downey Jr.'s and your Ryan Reynolds and the Dwayne The Rock Johnson. They are fighting for the rights of the smaller actors, the actors that they once was when they was trying to make it. So,
yeah, people who are just actors, and they might pop up in things, but they're not earning millions. They're not like these A-list stars popping up in big Marvel, DC, the Christopher Nolan films. They're not on about them. They're on about the people that aren't as big as them. And that's not to shit on them. There's probably actors better than these bigger actors out there, but it's these actors in smaller projects Like maybe like a couple indie films here and there, because a lot of indie films are pretty fucking good. I'd say a majority of indie films are better than the big films now. And they're phenomenal, and they work hard. They don't have the luxury of what these big actors have.
Choice of project, stuff like that. They've got to just take what they get.
Exactly, yeah. If a movie gets, doesn't break bank at the box office or anything, it doesn't do well, it doesn't even crack a profit, it's not going to be good for them. Whereas, like, for someone, let's say RDJ, if he went and did a film, he could go do whatever film he wants, and it could make $1. It doesn't matter.
He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid. Studio loses money. Still, he couldn't. I mean, even if he made the film and then he lost the money for it, he can afford to lose the money.
Yeah. Do you like the picture I chose?
I did, yeah. I love a bit of Ruffalo.
Go on, say the thing.
Well, Ruffalo, yeah.
Right, so
what are you on about?
Yeah. But right. Marvel delays Captain America Brave New World, The Thunderbolts, and Blade again have been delayed. All been pushed to 2025. Now, Brave New World is going to come out in February of 2025. Thunderbolts is going to come out in the summer, so around about July time of 2025. And Blade is coming out in early November of 2025. Now, interesting things this leaves us with now. We only have one MCU film next year. Deadpool 3. I think this is fucking great. I think it gives us the breath we need, having one MCU film next year. And it's going to be an MCU film that's so different to what the other MCU films are.
Yeah, it's not going to be like this is an MCU one only film. It's going to feel like its own thing. Kind of thing. It's not going to feel like it is an MCU film, but it won't feel like it's in the MCU kind of thing.
And we're going to get...
It's going to feel more like we've had a nice year break from Marvel, and they're going to come back refreshed.
Because they're clearly very confident in Deadpool 3 if they're rushing it back into production. Obviously, it's the writers of the first two as well. So, one MCU film in 2024. We will be getting Echo at the beginning of the year, and maybe another Disney Plus project towards the end. But this means it might be one of them things where it's like they're releasing it all at once because they knew if they released it week by week, people would get bored and think, But if they release it all at once, 5 episodes, and it's just people might be really into it. But Kyle, 2025 now will have, if they don't move it, we'll have Brave New World, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Blade, all in the same year. I think someone's going to have to give. I think because we have the problem solved one year, one MCU film, and then the next year it's, we got 4. Now it could be 4 great MCU films. Obviously, I know the writer of Beef and The Bear is doing Thunderbolts. So, obviously I've watched Beef. I've watched Beef, you've watched The Bear. Both shows we fucking love. I think
they both about food as well?
Beef, no.
Oh.
It's about beef.
That's food, isn't it?
No, it's about beef.
That'd be funny, like, fucking, you get to Thunderbolts, it's just a fucking cooking film. It's like one of those really intense cooking films.
Yeah.
So have John Favreau pop in as Happy Hoagie.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, Thunderbolts looks like it's going on the right track, getting these amazing writers in. Blade has obviously got a really good writer in. Now, he just needs to do his thing, and then that'll be ready. And Brave New World is going through 6 months of intensive reshoots. Same with the Daredevil situation. If they didn't like what they were seeing, and they're changing it, fair enough. 6 months of reshoots, there might as well be a reshoot in the entire film.
They probably are. I still think I don't know if how I feel about Brave New World. The sound when you say it, it sounds like a mobile game.
All right, let's
And
call
I
it Cap
still,
4 Mush.
I mean, I'd be down for something that's just a maybe one word thing underneath. Anyways, that's just going into that. I don't think it's too much having these three because
4, if
you know,
Fantastic Four comes out as well, on its scheduled
okay,
release date of May.
maybe that's a bit much. The only reason why I say that is because I don't feel like Blade fits in with that. It's like Deadpool. Yes, it's technically an MCU film, but it's not going to feel like an MCU film. You know, people are
We
just going to
hope.
go in and say, huh?
We hope.
We hope.
Which
I
is,
mean,
and
it's going
there's
to be.
nothing wrong with something feeling like an MCU film because I love that feeling. But we do like different, things as well.
Yeah, so with Blade, I feel like it's not going to feel like an MCU film if they're
And it
going to
has got the
release
R
it.
rating now as well, so.
So it's not going to, I don't think. It's like I just said there with Deadpool 3. It's not, yes, it's an MCU film, but it's not going to feel like an MCU film. It's still going to just feel like a sequel to Deadpool, which Deadpool doesn't feel anything remotely like an MCU film. It feels like a gritty Marvel film. Um, kind of like the old style that they used to do. Um, so with Blade, I think that's going to be the case for that as well. Captain America, I hope it's like it can break the mold a little bit and just be like, well, go back to the roots of what makes a great Captain America film, the
Yeah.
espionage stuff.
Because, I think you might agree with me here. You might not. I don't know if you will. I know there's another trilogy for you, but I think the Captain America trilogy is the best. Not only the best in the MCU, but the best comic book movie trilogy of all time.
See, I agree with that. The only thing I kind of like, it's just Captain America Civil War. We always have this debate, me and you.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a Captain America film, when you see it on paper and you see the name of it. But when you watch it, it doesn't really feel too much. It feels like an Avengers film, but instead of Iron Man taking the seat, it's Cap.
To me, the only reason it's a Captain America film is because it's Captain America that's driving the story.
Yeah, but it's the same with Avengers Age of Ultron. That's an Avengers film, but it still feels very Iron Man-esque. He's kind of the one driving the story with Ultron and everything. So that's what I mean by it. Yeah. Okay. It is the third Captain America film. I'm not going to take that away. A lot of it all revolves basically around Cap. It's just when you have all these other Avengers in, it kind of feels like an Avengers-esque film, which I don't see why you want to see that as that. I mean, like, it's not a negative thing.
No, it's not. I just
for
think
a Captain America
story.
Cap is the lead in the story. I'll say that, and it revolves around Cap. It's just with Iron Man there. He's just such a. He's like the other part of this. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's like split down the middle. It's Cap and Iron Man's film. It's like Cap's film, but Iron Man's got a big presence in it, and it. I'm not saying he steals the show, but I mean it's RDJ. He steals the show a little bit.
Spider-Man steals the show in Civil War. He's only in it for 6 minutes. So
yeah.
I ask you out of these three though. What are you most excited for out of these three? And don't worry if you don't say Captain America, I won't be offended because you'll be surprised at my answer as well.
Blade.
Is Blade the one you're most excited for? Thunderbolts. Yeah. Mine's Thunderbolts. I'm very excited
I'll be excited for Thunderbolts once I see Captain America.
Yeah, because these two are going to play so close to each other and are so integral to each other. But just with the talent they've got on board, from the actors to the writers, Thunderbolts is like that one where I'm quite looking forward to it. Quite a lot. And I am looking forward to Cap. And I love Sam Wilson as Cap. I think I'm probably one of the biggest people out there who's really pushing, like, no, I want Sam as Cap. And I'm the biggest Steve Rogers fan as well, but I just love how different it is when Sam's in the role. You can really do some interesting stuff with that. But yeah, more stuff getting delayed. I don't think we're going to see Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I'm saying... Do you know what? I'm saying 28 and 29. That's when we're seeing them.
So yeah, I was going to say 4030.
4,000 all right.
I'm fucking surprised, man. Just can it all. Just shit it out. Just cancel it. do a DC. They take pages from DC.
Yeah.
Fucking reboot the thing. Just chop it off.
I think they are after Secret Wars, and this, if they push them Avengers films off, it really gives us a chance to get some other projects in the middle there and really work out what's going on. Because one of the rumors is for Brave New World that Cap is going to be trying to build that Avengers team again. And obviously, the other rumor is he's going to be the lead of the 616 adjacent. We can call it that now. And you said you didn't mind.
I don't mind because I'd rather they just call it what it is instead of just kind of wording around it.
But Sam's going to be the leader of them Avengers now. But Avengers. But this is the best thing for him. Putting off projects, reworking them, and seeing what's working. But because do you know what? If it comes to it, and Brave New World's not good, and they decide to shelf it, I'm completely happy with that. If it wasn't going to deliver, and it's only going to damage the brand, don't put it out. I think Deadpool 3 is going to win back a lot of the audience, but I still think Brave New World's going to struggle. I think Thunderbolts, though, might do pretty good. It's going to have that Suicide Squad-y feel to it, which people like. You never know, Thunderbolts could be R-rated. They're being a lot more lenient now. But, yeah. Hopefully, one day we live in a world where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is back to its greatness. I was going to make a video this weekend.
Just ranting.
I was, but I thought, what we've built this channel on, and it's like, we don't want to make videos like that. I was going to make a video called 2023, the worst year of Marvel Studios. Now, even though I think that is right, I'd still rather talk about the stuff I love. So, yeah. Anyway, Kyle. Invincible. Episode 2 of Season 2. We both watched it. What do you think of the fish titties? What did you think of the fish? What did you think of the episode?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
The solid edition. I can't really say much. It was just great. More great Invincible stuff again.
Yeah, obviously it's been out a couple of days now, so we'll drop some spoilers if you haven't seen Invincible. Sorry, but we're going to spoil it. Obviously, Mark fights that big fucking fish fucking thing. That's what we're going to call it. But it lets off that lets off that sound, and then Cecil's like got Donald to record it, and he's like, just so he knows what kind of sound can harm a Viltrumite and Mark. So yeah, I think he trusts Mark, but I also think it's good to have a deterrent. Like Batman had
contingency.
Yeah, Batman had
Justice
all.
League contingency.
Yeah, he had all that stuff.
I remember seeing a skit of that. For the Batman one where it's like Robin's. I think it's Robot Chicken that do it, and he's going like, "What's this, Batman?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just weakness for all the Justice League in case I need to take him down." And he starts going through them all. Then he's like, Robin's like, "What about me? How come I'm not there? I don't think it's fair. I should be on there." And he just slaps him. And he's like, "Ow!" I thought I would class that. But yeah, anyways, interesting. You know more of the Invincible story than I do because you fucking spoiled it for yourself. But I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm completely going into this blind. You, for some reason, like to look into the backstory of things. I don't know why you like to do that.
It's quite different as well.
Yeah, but
Or
I'd like to see it afterwards. You know.
and I'll have you know, I basically just watched like a 4-hour video and someone just reading the comics pretty much while I was watching it at the side while playing games. So,
Hmm. I don't know how you can do that, but
yeah, look, there was no fish sex, which to us it's a 0 out of 10 because there was no fish sex.
yeah.
But
How long is it a 0.5 for the fish titties?
fish titties were good though. Mate, did fish even have tits?
Probably not. There's no
Well, that
need
one
for 'em.
did.
Well, it's like a humanoid, isn't it?
Yeah, but it had like serious fish titties.
But why? Why would? I mean, it's got legs as well.
Yeah, but do you think there's like a fish plastic surgeon down there?
Probably not.
He's like, I can tighten them gills up and give you some big ass fish titties.
All right.
What?
Next. Just Invincible. Great episode again. Watch it if you haven't watched it yet. It's pretty good.
But what did you think of the fish titties?
Next topic.
All right, Loki. We're possibly going to spoil Loki season 2 finale here, but you've probably already watched it, and you probably haven't made it this far in the video, so
Congrats if you have.
congrats if you had.
Yeah.
But weird. It was so weird. I was saying to you, I said the worst part about the actors' strike is we haven't been able to see any Tom Hiddleston interviews about Loki. He finally did one. Actor strike's over. It was Jimmy Fallon, I believe he did it on. First of all, can't stand that cunt, but still, it's he did an interview with Jimmy Fallon, and he's talking about Loki, and he says he was 29 when he got cast. He's now 42, and he's on about the finale, and he says it's the what are you doing? You playing Fallout again?
No, I'm on Task Manager.
Right. He says the season 2 finale is the conclusion to
It's freezing up. That's why.
season 2. He says it's the conclusion to season 1 and 2, and he says it's also the conclusion to every film he's been in. He says this has been 14 of years of his life. And it's got a lot of people thinking that, is he done playing Loki? Now, he hasn't confirmed that. But let's just throw it out there. Tom Hiddleston's done as Loki. Are you happy with that, or do you want to see more?
I'd love to see more, but I feel like that he's going to take... I feel like what's going to happen is we're not going to see him for a good while until maybe Secret Wars. That's when the last time we'll actually see him.
I think that's when we're next going to see him as well, Secret Wars.
The next time, and it's probably going to be the last time.
Yeah.
But, that's how I stand with it.
He's had a good ending, in a way, here. But it's still... Come on, you can do more. I would be happy if he, did come back for Secret Wars. But if he didn't, fair enough.
No, I'm pretty sure he will.
He went out on top, but I'm pretty sure he will as well. Because what did they say? The goal is to get Thor and Loki back together again. I just sunk all the way down. And I think it's criminal if we don't get Thor and Loki back together one more time. And I think, I'm on about killing Thor in Kang Dynasty. I actually kind of want to see our Thor see Loki again. I don't want it to be a variant. So I'm kind of holding off now.
What do you mean variant? Like this from the show?
I don't want it to be a Thor variant to meet this Loki.
Oh, I thought you said Loki variant. Sorry.
I want.
No, I feel like it won't be.
I want our Thor to meet this Loki. But You can only wish and dream. And if he's done, he's done. If he's not done, good. But yeah, Secret Wars, definitely the next time we see him.
Probably the last time.
And probably the last time. Do you think, obviously rumours of Owen Wilson popping up in Deadpool 3, the TVA making, putting together a multiversal Avengers team and stuff like that?
But potentially, yeah. I still think that is a possibility. I know he said he's kind of wanted to take a break from it and just, kind of, well, he didn't say he wanted to live a life on the timeline. He just wanted to see it, didn't he? So maybe he'll come back to it because he said he loves his job, doesn't he? So, I think he will. And I think that'll please a lot of fans seeing Owen Wilson's Mobius and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool just on screen together as their comic book counterpart characters. I think that'll be.
I want to see Mobius drop an F-bomb.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Do you know what though? I want to see it, but I don't think it'd be in character.
I think he'd say it in like the most silly way, where it's like,
"What the fuck?"
No, I think he'd be like, "You dumb fuckhead," or something like that. Like he'll say something just kind of random, not something you'd say, kind of thing.
It's like, get on a fucking jet ski.
And then Deadpool like turns around when he says the F-bomb or whatever. Deadpool turns around, looks at the camera and goes, "Wow."
Oh, fuck, But yeah. Oh, I'm just thinking about that Loki finale. I don't want to think about it because I loved it too much. But let's talk about our final topic, Kyle. Let's get you to bed, mate. You look tired.
No, I'm pretty hungry actually.
All right, well we'll get you fed. New trailer for Rebel Moon. I'll let you go first. What do you think?
The more and more I'm kind of seeing this, the less and less interested I'm getting.
Me too.
It's starting to look like a you see like toys online and you see like the knockoffs, like a cheaper version where it's like, say for like, let's say Spider-Man, for example, you see a toy Spider-Man knockoff and it says Bugman or a rat,
Yeah.
Or Man Spider or
Yeah, the
something.
4-round finger, that was my favourite.
Huh?
What?
I have no idea.
Moving on.
That's what it feels like to me. It just feels like it's trying so hard to rip off so many other things. It doesn't feel like it's adapting it to do its own thing. It just feels generic from the trailers, and there's nothing really like. Yeah, you've got a great cast, but a great cast. We've seen this many times.
Fantastic cast.
But we've seen this many times. Yeah. It doesn't make a movie great.
No. One thing I want to point out from the trailer, I don't know if you noticed this. So Ed Skrein, the guy who plays like the big space Nazi, his stuff like with a hat on. Obviously he played Dario Naharis, didn't he, in season 3 of Game of Thrones, and then he got recast. Well, he's acting alongside the guy who who actually took the role of Dario Naharis after him, and I only just noticed it in the trailer. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Them two acting alongside each other. And that's the only cool thing I took from trailer.
Yeah. I've
got a mate at work who's really looking forward to this. But he's really looking forward to it because he's really big into his, like 40k lore and stuff like that. Is it Warhammer 40k? And he says a lot of this stuff's reminded him of that. And he says this will tie him over until the Henry Cavill project actually comes out.
But it shouldn't be a thing that ties people over. It should be its own thing. You should be excited for this.
Yeah, and like this is part 1.
Like I said, I know Zack Snyder, don't get me wrong, he's a pretty good director. Man of Steel, I think it's fantastic. I know you really like Man of Steel as well. Batman v Superman, it was okay.
Director's
You
Cut's a
know,
lot better, but it's still not an amazing film by any
yeah,
means.
but I still have fun watching it. You know, I could stick it on and watch it. It's fun. You know, it
If
doesn't
do you
have
know
to be
the thing I'll say
fantastic.
about Zack Snyder is if he's a director who needs 4 or 3.5 hours to tell his stories, you know, Netflix is the perfect place for him because the normal studio system will not allow that because they want films to be quick so people can go in and see them as many times as possible. So he didn't really thrive in an environment like that, but with Netflix he can make the film as long as he wants. And the longer his films are, the better they are because he can tell the story he wants to tell them. You know, look at Zack Snyder's
But
Justice League.
this is the thing with Zack Snyder.
A better
When
director
he
could do it in 2.5 hours. 100%.
potentially, yeah. But the thing with Zack Snyder, and I'm not trying to shit on him here. I respect him. I
Yeah,
like a
good,
lot of
because
his
you'd
films.
miss.
Um,
You don't have rectum control.
he seems like the type of guy that builds a universe almost. Like, you know, he's got the capability of building like his own universe, but because he's kind of, you know, he's gone from DC and he's not building that out anymore, obviously. And then you go from that, and then he did his zombie film, which was supposed to be that own universe thing.
Do you know what I
And
love
now
Army
he's,
of the Dead?
I think it's alright. I'm not the biggest fan, I can't lie, but again, that was something that was supposed to build its universe, and I thought, oh, we could be getting like a connected movie universe from none other than Zack Snyder. I'm down for that. Maybe that the later films or whatever he does might enhance the first film, might like it more, whatever. But it just feels like he's kind of left that. I've not heard anything about it. And then
We
with
are getting a
this,
sequel.
yeah, but I mean, like, I'd rather him focus on that instead of like jumping from thingy to thingy because it doesn't
Yeah,
give,
sci-fi
it
to
doesn't feel
zombies.
like
Sci-fi to zombies.
it doesn't feel like it gets fleshed out enough. And that's my worry about this. It doesn't feel like it's going to get fleshed out enough, or it's going to tease some things, and we're going to have to wait ages and ages for like answers to it. Because there's loads of questions in Army of the Dead,
Yeah.
and
Robot zombies.
I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So I would much prefer if he continued his Army of the Dead universe first, and then maybe went on to this. Mind you, I think he probably jumped in it to do Rebel Moon because he probably got a good deal with Netflix, and there's a bit of a void for sci-fi movies now. Obviously, without with Star Wars just announcing that they're going to make a film and then they never fucking make it.
Yeah.
There is a void for that. There is a slot for these type of films, but I'm just like, I'd much rather him build up a universe bit better. It doesn't have to be fleshed out like the MCU. It could be a couple films or something like that, and then do something and flesh that out, and we don't have to wait ages for it.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
definitely.
as it stands, I'm losing interest in the film. It just seems super generic.
I will be watching this film simply because it's my last day of work of the year. It comes out, and usually gives a big crate of beer. I will be coming home, finishing that crate, and watching Rebel Moon. And you'll get the best review of your life.
Yeah, no, it won't be sinking in chair. It'll be falling off it.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool all over again.
No,
It'll fall over.
the
It's
chair
gonna
fell
fucking
over
fall.
me. The chair fell over me.
That's
But
what I'm saying. So you're gonna fall off your chair, and your bed's gonna fall on you.
Okay. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Anyway, Cal, so do you want to talk about fish titties one more time before we go?
Oh, end the show.
End the
My
show.
tea's nearly.
Okay, your tea is ready, isn't it?
It's nearly ready.
Okay, sweet. Well,
Me and Zara, same thing. So she's put it on now.
that'll do us for today. Mate, what are you doing?
I've had lots of caffeine today and not
Sweet.
enough to eat, so I'm kind of like.
I'll give you some caffeine. But this has been our show about movie news and fish titties. So we will see you guys in the next episode. Don't know when that will be, maybe in 7 years. But yeah, right. Like, subscribe, all that good shit. Kyle, anything they should do before they go?
Check out Invincible season
Yes,
2 episodes.
definitely for the fish titties. And I would also say go check out the Bad Habits channel. I'm going to link it in the description. The review we did. Like I said, just a great overall perspective of different opinions about the Marvels. 3 different degrees of it, and I think we've all got varying opinions, and it actually flows pretty well. But yeah, see you guys later when we talk about more Marvel news, I suppose, because that seems to be dominating the channel right now. But that's the biggest thing in the news cycle, so that's what we're going to talk about.
Changed in the channel name to Marvel and Beyond.
Never, because that means we can't talk about Rebel Moon.
Who knows? When we get bigger, I mean, hopefully, I end up doing like a sub channel. Marvel
We
and
can't,
Beyond.
Kyle. If we was Marvel and Beyond, we couldn't talk about Rebel Moon, and we want to talk about that.
I don't really want to talk about it.
All right, yeah. Just as you watch trailers, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
But yeah, right.
Sat there and look at it.
I'm gonna go drown in a shower. Kyle's gonna go shit his pants or something like that. See you later.